Last quarter-final of the evening, and I think it's certainly a case of saving the best till last. Certainly the most competitive quarter-final, I think, on paper. And it's very hard to rule out any of these 6 greyhounds here. Not the Ball Sid, the seeding him in trap 4, that certainly worked last week. I think Pat Buckley was admitted himself he was a little bit flat in his first 2 runs, and certainly didn't look flat last week when he was well backed and popped out of trap 4, doing a 4:10 sectional. Will it work again? Well, it's got to here, because there's a lot of early pace here, both sides of him in the unbeaten English duo of Signet Ace, or Signet Ace, I should say, and Adele's Duke on the outside. One of those two, you could see possibly leading Sid early on, and it could be a different dog in behind Sid. He looked a bit flat, I thought, in his first 2 runs, but obviously last week's run, when he was certainly livened up, and the money came for him as well last week, not the Ball Sid. He was, say, a different dog on the bunny out in trap 4. Talk about different dogs last week. The Machine, although he's only got a strike rate of 1 from 20 in the UK and Ireland, he was well back last week. Met a lot of trouble in running him. Certainly looked a better dog last week than what he's shown before. I think he'd be a very, very hard dog to keep out the frame here, even with the 2 other strong running dogs in Ballymac Wild and Beach Avenue. Been a bit disappointed with Beach Avenue. I thought it took a hell of a long time last week to get the grips with Bubbly Magnum. That might not have been bad form, seeing how Bubbly Magnum runs in the previous heat before. But Beach Avenue, I think a dog probably likely to turn much nearer last than first. In fact, he could even turn last completely here, as the Machine showed more pace last week. I think he might struggle to qualify tonight. Ballymac Wild, lovely draw on the inside in theory, but he's got a clear sign at Ace early, and that could be an obstacle, and he could be in trouble there. Very, very tough last heat. Again, I want to be taking on Knock the Ball Sid, sign at Ace. Trap 1 puts me off him a little bit. I'm just going to plump here with Adele's Duke, who's running so well for League Field, and maybe he can still keep up the unbeaten record in the last quarter-final.